Hi, Village of Hazel Crest residents. Welcome back to another edition of Let's Talk. This is a different type of Let's Talk. We're focusing a little bit on entertainment, and I'll get into that a little bit more in depth as we go along, actually, in this wonderful interview. But I have the honor and the privilege of interviewing today Miss Phoenix Tyler. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Now, Phoenix is actually a 10-year resident of Hazel Crest, and this is why we're sitting here with her, because she has a wonderful, wonderful story to share, and we're just going to jump right in. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Okay, I was born and raised in Chicago, on Chicago's South Side. I attended Harlan High School. Go Falcons! And after I left high school, I attended Prairie View A&M University, which is in Texas, on the outskirts of Houston. And after receiving my BA, I attended Thurgood Marshall School of Law, which is in Houston. It's a part of Texas Southern University to receive my law degree.
Wonderful. So what was the choice? What made you attend an HBCU? What?
You know, actually, one of my cousins from Chicago was in Prairie View, and she worked there. She attended a Prairie View as well as other cousins, and so she thought it would be a really good fit for me. And I'm so glad I decided to go, because it was the perfect fit for
Beautiful.
me.
Your undergrad degree is in?
Political science.
Ah, yes. Okay. Now, of course, now we know what you did with that degree.
Yes.
So you got your JD from the Thurgood Marshall School of
Yes.
Law. Why law? What made you go that route?
You know, I really like helping people, and lawyers help people to me. You know, help people overcome certain issues that they might face in their lives, and lawyers, to me, I always thought lawyers were not shy, and I used to be very shy. And I thought, well, if I go to law school, I'll learn how to speak up and defend my rights as well as other people's rights, and that's exactly what I did. You know, and I really enjoyed it.
Okay, that's wonderful. So you practiced law for a little bit. What type of law?
A lot of criminal and personal injury. Actually, I had my own law firm in Houston for a while, and it was very rewarding.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Wow. That's very, very brilliant. Now, we all know that that is not what you are doing currently, at least not in the forefront. And that's the reason why you're here.
Yes, ma'am.
Actually, you're here because you are a prolific playwright now. Where did that come from? Okay, you're a practicing attorney. Where did writing plays, or even the notion of acting or entertainment, when did that come into the picture?
The notion of acting was always in me. Even when I was a little girl, my mom would see me in the mirror doing commercials, making up commercials and just acting around the house, and she's looking at me like, okay, what's wrong with you? You know, are you okay? And I'm like, no, I just always created scenarios. And the writing piece, when I was in high school, I was taking AP English, and my English teacher always told me, you're going to be a writer. And I was like, oh no, I would never be a writer. Who wants to be a writer? But I had no idea. All through college, I had to do a lot of writing, and in law school, writing briefs and all of that. And so I just fine-tuned it. And my dad was a writer. He wrote plays and things like that. And so I never knew I would transition into writing and really enjoy it and really love creating characters and creating environments and making it real to people. So that's
awesome. So now you're one of 8 children, is that correct?
It's 10.
One of 10, okay. I stand corrected.
Yes.
You're one of 10 children.
Yes.
So then that means there were a lot of children that your parents had to attend to. And you mentioned how your mother would see you acting out things, and you talked about your father actually writing plays. Did you know that as a child?
Not as a child. Not as a child, I didn't. But I know one thing that my mom did with all of us, she knew about all of our personalities, and she picked out all of our talents. She would observe us to find out what we were gifted in and what we enjoyed doing, and she would push us towards that, whatever it was. So I don't care if I wanted to be a rock. She's like, okay, what kind of rock? Here's a bunch of rocks. Pick which one, you know. So she did motivate us and push us to whatever our passion was.
Beautiful. Now, as it stands, at least where psychologists are concerned, you sound like you are both left brain and right brain. You're creative, right? I mean, you know, You've got the creative side of you, but of
Yes.
course you also had the practicing law side, or
Yes.
the regular side, if you would, like those of
Right.
us who really don't tap into the creative side. But I just think that it's absolutely wonderful. And the fact that playwriting is in your bloodline.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. And I can almost guarantee you it goes beyond your dad.
Yes, yes, yes.
That is absolutely wonderful.
Yes.
You were a shy kid.
I'm
Were you
very
ever
shy.
in clubs or in theater club or speech club or?
I was in grammar school. I was in quite a few plays, but I used to draw and paint and do sculptures for
Wow.
the city of Chicago, all of that, all the time. I was really into my artsy world, and I didn't talk a lot. But I would just go into my zone and create.
Wow.
And I didn't start it coming out of my shell, I would say, until high school a little bit.
Okay.
But then college a little bit more. But then in law school, I really started coming out.
Wonderful.
And speaking more, speaking up more and things like that.
That is awesome. So as a creator, or being that one that loves to create, do you have to be in your zone still now to be able to pull things together? Or?
Actually, I pray about everything that I do.
Okay.
And once God gives it to me, it just flows. And it's like you're in the zone. I zone out of regarding what's going on around me.
Okay.
And I'm in my environment, and I'm creating until I complete whatever project I'm working on at that moment.
Awesome.
It just happens.
Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Well, we've got a play coming up that's actually rerunning, if you would,
Yes, ma'am.
From Slavery to the White House.
yes.
And that's been in existence since 2012, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I had the honor and the privilege of seeing it not too long after the first showing, or after it first came out, and it was absolutely phenomenal.
Thank you.
How do you do it?
It just, when it comes to me, it comes to me. That's the best way I can describe it. I'll get an idea, and I'll jot down some notes, and then sit down and just write. But From Slavery to the White House was actually an audition piece for the DuSable Museum.
Wow.
And it started out as a children's show, and it was so well received. I turned it into the adult version, which is 2 hours and 30 minutes long, because it was just so well received. And our history is so vast, so you can always add and take away and put this in and put that in and take that out.
Beautiful,
So
beautiful.
That's how it
and
came
that's
about.
what it is. It's a history lesson,
Yes, it's a
correct?
history lesson.
And so it started out as a project for DuSable,
Yes.
and it was geared toward children.
Yes.
Now let me make this clear, Village of Hazel Crest. When she said it's adult themed now, it doesn't mean anything on
Right.
the shady side.
Right.
It just means that it may be a little bit more
It's
in depth.
longer, yes,
It's longer. That's wonderful.
Yes.
But I'm sure it teaches adults as well as children what our history is.
Yes,
You want
it
to talk
does.
about that a little bit? Talk about how From Slavery to the White House goes from beginning to end.
Okay, actually, the actors start in Africa, in the African village, and then we deal with the children being stolen from the village. We deal with the slave trade, the auction, being in the cotton field, being free, and we go through the 20s. We go through every era to the present day. It's very fast-paced. It's very emotional. The actors are actually backstage crying because of the emotions
That it
that they're
evokes.
experiencing. You know, it's not, we're acting, but then too, it's real.
Right.
Because it's our
It's our
history.
history, yeah.
And some of it really hurts. You know, and we deal with that pain.
Exactly.
You know, and then we look at the fact that we're standing on the shoulders of greatness, of great, phenomenal people.
Absolutely.
And so I just encourage everyone, no matter what your ethnicity, your race, celebrate you, who
Exactly.
you are, your race. Don't be afraid. So what, you might have gone through something horrific. That's what makes you you.
Exactly.
And we're such a resilient people, and we're
Yes.
so strong.
Very strong.
And we keep going on, and we keep creating and keep becoming. And that's
Wonderful.
what makes us who we are
Exactly.
today.
And hopefully this makes us appreciate where we are.
Yes.
When we really recognize where we've come from and whose shoulders upon whom we stand. Hopefully that makes us a little bit, stand a little straighter, do a little bit better. And so I think it's wonderful
Yes.
because you know what, there are some aspects of our history that a lot of us don't know,
Yeah.
even in our own culture.
Yes.
But yes, I think it's a great idea for everybody of every culture to come out and see this play. How long did it take you to write this?
This one, I want to say 40 minutes, if 20 or 40
Wow.
minutes for this one.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. incredible. Absolutely incredible. Now, it's not just local, from what I understand.
No.
You've traveled nationally with this production.
Yes.
Where have you been?
We've traveled to Detroit and we've traveled to Houston. And each city that we visit will add their history.
Beautiful.
So that people will know about themselves. And did you know this happened in your city? This was your first mayor or whatever.
Wow.
So to be inclusive and make people be proud. Because when you know who you are and where you've come from, then you're, you know where you're going in life.
I believe that.
You know where you're going. And when you see that person that looks like you, it's love.
Yes.
And so to me, I think with our babies today, I know I'm jumping the subject, with our babies today, if they knew who they were,
Yes.
then they wouldn't be so quick to pick up a gun
That's right.
to shoot the person that's your brother.
Exactly.
You know, you guys come from the same
Exactly.
cloth.
Yes.
Did you know? You never know. After doing a DNA swap, they might be cousins in the village
related,
in
that's right.
Africa.
Amen.
You know, and so
totally
I
agree.
truly believe that.
And I think that starts with loving ourselves.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
you have to love
Yes,
yourself
yes.
first. That's something I always have tried to impart to my daughter, and it's something, honestly, that Venus and Serena's mom actually
Yes.
would always teach them,
Yes.
and actually that has gotten them a long way. I think if we start loving ourselves, we'll
Yes.
realize, yeah, we're worth something.
Yes.
Our lives are definitely worthy.
Yes, I remember my dad would put me in the mirror and he would say, "Look at you, you are so beautiful. Look at your skin." And I'm like, "For real, Daddy, I am." I mean, he just, you know, just
Yes.
believing
Absolutely.
and knowing who I was.
That is absolutely
Yeah.
positively wonderful.
Yeah.
How many plays have you written?
I haven't counted, but I know it's over 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know it's well over 30.
That is
And books
a
and everything.
huge amount.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, you know, when you, how do you know, I guess, that this is your calling? I mean, obviously you've been successful at this. It's something that is familial, meaning it's going
Right.
down or come down, you know, to you from your bloodline.
Right.
But how do you separate that creativity side or knowing that this is what you are meant to do with respect to just occasionally writing, you know?
When I put on a show and I have people coming up to me after the show or calling me months later and telling me how it changed their lives, you know, how it really made a difference in their lives, then I know I'm on the right path because we're here as servants and we're here to help each other. I did a play called Child Support, and we had a couple of guys come back and say they got back in their children's lives because of the play. So that lets me know I'm doing what I'm supposed to
touching
do.
lives.
And touching lives and changing lives for the better, entertaining, but giving a lesson as well
Yes.
through that entertainment.
So something to think about.
Yeah.
I think that is absolutely positively wonderful, and I think it's much needed, especially
Yes,
today.
yes, yes.
And it's all over, not just our community, but communities
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah,
Because you know what?
everywhere.
We all need to just come together. We all live here,
Yes,
right? I think it's
yes.
about time.
Yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Well, From Slavery to the White House is actually going to be shown again, or another production we will see very, very soon.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up on May 6th. Now, how did
Yes.
that come about? How did we come to bring this back again after last year?
Actually, we were supposed to do it in February, and we had so many conflicts. When I get a lot of phone calls, and I'm like, okay, it's time. And I'm always getting phone calls about the show. Okay, when are you going to show this again? When is this coming back? When will I see this show again? And so, since we weren't able to do February, we decided to do March because our history is ongoing. It's not just for Black History Month in February. So we try to do From Slavery to the White House at least once a year. And so March will be
Well,
the
Black
month that
history
we
is
do it.
every day.
Every day.
Absolutely,
Yes,
absolutely.
yes.
Okay, so we've got this production coming up
Yes.
on May 6th. Tell us a little bit about that. Where will it be?
So we're excited. It will be at Thornton High School, which is in Harvey.
Yes, go Wildcats.
This is our first time being in Harvey. We're really excited because the venue is so beautiful.
Yes.
And everyone was just so gracious and allowing us to get the venue. So we're excited about that. It's at 2 o'clock.
Beautiful.
And I always do a 2 o'clock show for my seniors. My seniors like to come out early, and
Yes.
students and
Exactly.
you know, the
And
younger
still have the
crowd.
rest of the day.
Yes,
Absolutely.
yes, and go get something to eat after the show or before the show. But the younger adults usually like to come out after 2 o'clock. So we always do a 2 o'clock show, and so we just have a 2 o'clock show on May 6th.
That's beautiful. I'm so looking forward to it because I
Yes.
definitely will be there.
Yes,
Never
ma'am.
can see it too many times.
Yes.
Well, you know what? Do you have any parting words, any advice for those that might be on this track or maybe considering a career as a playwright or as an actor or actress or even in entertainment as a whole? What advice would you give a young person?
I would say do your research,
Okay.
learn the industry,
Okay.
the business side of it. If you're around anyone who's negative, remove them from your life.
Okay.
Because when God tells you this is what you're supposed to do, go ahead and do it, and make sure this is what you're supposed to be doing. Don't just jump on a bandwagon just because everyone's doing it. Ask him, is this your purpose? Should you be doing this? He'll tell you, and just hone your skills.
Beautiful.
Learn your craft. Learn it, learn it, and learn it. And you know what you know, and don't let anyone take that from you.
Beautiful. That is absolutely wonderful. Phoenix, thank you so much for being
Thank
with us
you.
today. I count it an honor and a privilege.
Thank you. as
Thank
well.
you, my fellow Hazel Crest resident.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, there you have it, Hazel Crest. We should come out and support. We have to come out and support our own. Phoenix Tyler, there will be another showing of From Slavery to the White House, and you heard her speak about that. It is Saturday, May 6th. As a matter of fact, it's coming up fast and quick. Showtime, 2 p.m. It will be at Thornton Township High School, which is at 15001 South Broadway in Harvey, my alma mater. You guys know where that is. If you want more information, you can actually call 773-499-8838. Again, that's 773-499-8838. Tickets are $30 in advance, $35 at the door. And if you call that same number, you can get information about group rate info. Okay, let's come out and support. This is going to be a grand time, and hopefully this will not be the only showing this
No,
year here in
no.
Chicago. Okay, wonderful.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us again. We'll come back soon with another edition of Let's Talk.